Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Welcome to our 365 daily devotion. At ngayong umaga ay ating uling pag-aaralan ang ating series na 7 Secrets to a Joyful Life. At ngayon ang ating pinakahuling episode sa ating series na pinamagatang Forgiveness, Nurturing a Healthy Heart. Ang paksa natin nagmumula sa talata ng Colossians 3:13 at ang sabi dito, forbearing one another and forgiving one another if any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you. So also maging mapagpasensya kayo at mapagpatawad sa isa't isa. Kung mayroon kayong reklamo laban sa kapwa, magpatawad kayo tulad ng pagpapatawad sa inyo ng Panginoon. So ang katuruan natin dito no una, forgiveness is being gracious to imperfection. So forgiveness at its core is an act of grace extended towards others, imperfections and shortcomings when we live in community with others, whether it is within our families, churches, or workplaces. We will inevitably experience hurt or disappointment. People are imperfect, and even with the best intentions, they will sometimes fail us, speak harshly, or act selfishly. So as imperfect things ourselves, we are also prone to hurt others. Second teaching natin is forgiveness is based on how God forgives. So forgiveness is not just a human concept. It is rooted in the very heart of God. So in the verse, Paul makes it clear that our motivation for forgiving others is based on the forgiveness we have received from God. Forgive one another, and if any man has a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. So the standard for forgiveness is not based on how much we feel like forgiving, nor is it dependent on whether the other person deserves forgiveness. So it is based solely on the way Christ had forgiven us. So sunod nating katuruan, forgiveness is healing our own brokenness. Forgiveness is not just about releasing the other person, it is also about releasing ourselves. Holding on to forgiveness or onto unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. So when we harbor bitterness or resentment, it eats away at our own hearts. It affects our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. So unforgiveness can lead to anxiety, depression, and even health issues. So in contrast, forgiveness brings healing to our own. So what is our application here? First is to forgive others and stop punishing yourself. So make a conscious decision to forgive others, whether it's small offense or a deep wound. Ask God for the grace to let go. Stop punishing yourself by carrying the weight of unforgiveness. Remember that forgiveness is not about excusing the wrong done to you, but about freeing yourself from the emotional and spiritual chains that bind you. Second is forgiveness others or forgive others the way God has forgiven us. So as believers, we are called to forgive just as Christ forgave us. This means that our forgiveness just must be unconditional and complete. So we cannot withhold forgiveness because the other person doesn't deserve. None of us deserve God's forgiveness, yet He freely offers it to us. Lastly, is to forgive others in order to heal ourselves. So forgiveness is a healing balm for our own souls. So when we forgive, we experience emotional and spiritual healing. So if you are struggling with hurt, anger, or bitterness, consider whether there is someone you need to forgive. Release the offense to God, and allow Him to bring healing to your heart.